Have you ever wondered why we are placed into strict gender categories the moment we are born? The doctor looks at us and immediately labels us. It's a boy, or it's a girl. Experiences, individuals, and stories tell us that these simplified labels fail to reflect the true complexity of gender. Let's start questioning these labels. What is the difference between sex and gender? Why does gender seem to matter so much to us as individuals and as a society?
Why is there a debate about gender-neutral housing?
Or why we have defined gender roles and expressions?
What does it mean to be trans?
Have you visited the Women's Center? Well, we welcome all genders. Why do we say all genders and not both genders?
What does this word gender even mean? Does it matter? And how does it affect you and your organization?
Gender 101 is an interactive workshop with the Harvard College Women's Center that can address many of these questions with you. We all have a multitude of intersecting identities, all of which influence our experience of gender. Let's try to identify them. There are, roughly speaking, 4 categories of experience that help us understand gender.
The first category is called gender expression. Gender expression can be defined as the manner in which individuals express, perform, or represent their gender to the world. Typical genders are often complicated by expression. For example,
she dresses like a dude.
Or the very common phrase,
he throws like a girl,
are both used to identify how others' gender expression may defy typical beliefs of how gender should be represented on a person's body and in behavior. We're going to show how stereotypes do not apply to everyone, and we will debunk the myth of the girly girl versus the manly man.
The second category is more complicated than you might think at first. This is our gender identity, an individual's personal definition or subjective experience of their own gender. It might seem that the only possible gender identities are woman or man. In fact, many folks identify in a variety of other ways, for example, as trans or genderqueer. We will discuss all of these terms during the workshop, which brings us to preferred gender pronouns, also known as PGPs. These are an individual's preference for how others refer to them. Some of these pronouns are very common, while others, like Z or here, are recently coined and may be used by individuals who do not identify with the traditional male-female gender pronouns.
The third category is our sexual identity or sexuality, which means who we are or aren't romantically or sexually attracted to. There are many sexual identities, including but not limited to bisexual, asexual, gay, or straight. We will discuss these terms and more during our Gender 101.
Finally, our fourth category is our sex. We often identify sex with little figures that show up on a bathroom door. If you have lady parts, go into ladies' bathroom. If you have man parts, go into the men's bathroom. But sex is defined not just by whether you have a penis or a vagina. In addition to genitalia, we have hormones, secondary sex characteristics, like facial and body hair, chromosomes, and internal reproductive organs. All of these physiological elements act together to determine our sex. In many cases, they also complicate the gender binary. As you can see, it's not as simple as those bathroom figures make it seem.
So what can you learn from participating in Gender 101?
You can learn about the nature of gender diversity using reflections from community members on their experiences with gender at Harvard. Through these reflections and discussions, you will learn about the diversity of expression on campus. We'll also discuss the ways in which media, society, our campus, and the workplace do or do not support this diversity and what we can do about it.
We'll talk about why gender matters, including the consequences of sexism, bias, and stereotyping.
And we'll help you find ways to make your community or group more gender inclusive.
Ready to learn more? Schedule a Gender 101 workshop for your organization or join one of our open workshop sessions. Email us at hcwc@fast.harvard.edu and let's engage.